Morning, y'all. So got Big Booty Judy here. Look at them wide hips. Anyway, got a little bit of a situation here. This back door don't open. Now, both doors worked when I first got the truck. Bought this truck for $1,000. They both worked. One day I was going to throw something in the back, and I went to open the door, and I heard a click, like a snap, like something when I opened it, and then since then it hasn't opened. So like, okay, I'll go to the other side and I'll throw whatever it was, a bag or something. I was like, okay, I'll throw it in on the other side. Go to the other side, same thing. Went to pull the handle, open it, I heard a snap. So what it is the cables inside for the latch to pull and open. I've got in there and I looked. So the rubber is actually worn that holds it into the connector to snap in. So you can go to O'Reilly's and you can get these, and you put these over the cable and you can put it back in there, because that rubber is dry rotted, is worn, so the cable doesn't stay in. It's deteriorate. I pulled on it and it just fell apart, crumbled apart. So we're gonna go ahead and get in here and get this fixed. So first thing I'm gonna do is going to take the screws out of here. This is a pretty simple job. We gotta get this panel off so we can get in there and get these cables out and see if we can't fix this and get this door to open again. All right, we got that off. Then we just unsnap this. Then we got a couple bolts down here. Take those off. Did that just come off of that piece? I think it did. Oh man. Man, would you look at that? This thing still has the old ashtray. Put out. There we go. Try not to break anything else. Now that we're here, take this plastic, get into that hole so you can see what we're dealing with. Yeah. All right, so right here is the cable for the lower. And as you see, maybe you can see, it's just falling apart as I rub my finger across it. It's just, yeah, that just falls apart. It's crumbling, rotted out. So our little clamp is right here. Let's see. So right there is where it clips in. But as you see, that stuff's just dry rotted, just falling apart. And that's gonna go over that cable, and it's gonna act as that plastic piece was. It's gonna slip right over this, and you're gonna clip this part into this clip right here. See if I can get a good angle. Clip it into that clip right there with that, and you're gonna take a zip tie and go around it, and that will allow the door to open again. Now I know we gotta do this one. I still gotta check the upper. That's the lower, so we're gonna check the upper, which is this one right here. Yep, that's gotta be done too. I can already tell. There's the upper. Can't really get a good angle, but there's the upper. And then we're gonna see if we're gonna have to get the one for up here and the one for down below. But more than likely, if these are dry rotted out like that, the top ones will be as well. Now the best way to do this for easy accessibility and pull that cable out from the door so I don't drop that piece in there, we're gonna go ahead and undo this yellow piece right here. and then this cable just comes right out, just like that. Now I feel a little more comfortable doing it over here, less likely to drop that piece down into the abyss. Now that I got that cable out, this piece is going to go right over that cable. So there's a little slot there on the side. Slide that cable into there, and then just push this over that plastic that's still on there. All right, now we got that piece on there. I'm gonna take this cable and put it back behind here. We're just gonna clip it. And that piece right there. Now as you can see, that slot just clips right into there. All right, so after a little bit of finessing, we got that to go in there, but it's still kind of, I'll be worried about it coming out, so I'm gonna put a zip tie over it. Now, that's not down where it needs to be with the threads, right? For that to lock. So what that's telling me, see, there's too much slack there. So that means that the other end of the cable is gonna have that same issue, which is, what was that one, the lower? So that's gonna be down here. So we're gonna have to get down there and do the same thing we did up here. We're gonna do down there, which will take out that slack, and the threads there will go back into that locking system. Now right quick, what we're gonna do is we're gonna get the cable out from this one as well, which is the same thing, but it's on the back side of here. So you got two little pinch points, push those in and that pops out. It'll look just like this. All right, so we got the other piece out. Oops, that's the speaker. And just like I was telling you, it looks just like that piece. It's right there. Those are the two pinch points. Push them in, pop that out. And we're gonna do the same thing on this as we did on that. And it's gonna go back into that little hole right there. This little hole right here just pops right back through. And that side is done. Take another one of these. I'm gonna slide it in. That part's gonna go over that rubber. It's gonna slide down and just snap in place. All right, just like that. There we go. Then we're gonna take this and we're gonna snap it into that back side. I can't get a good view of it, but it's just like the other side. Ah, yeah. We got it. All right, this is gonna make things a little bit easier. Freedom! I can't really show you guys inside here for the bottom. You just kind of feel for it and kind of find it. And when you find it, it's like, oh, there it is. Boom, it opens. There we go. We got the bottom snapped in. Now, the top part. Remember what I was talking about, the slack? How we're pulling that slack out because I had too much slack. So when you pull on the handle to release the mechanism, now as you can see, there's not so much slack up here. So we can just take this and stick it in here. And then boom, that's done. The bottom part is done. Well, we're gonna put a zip tie over this. Just make sure it holds in place. But as I pull the handle, you can see the mechanism work. So we got the bottom part done. Now to do the top part. And this should be the fun part. Up here. Really is not that bad. Not as bad as bottom because I can actually pull the cable out and see what's going on up here. But let's first get a zip tie on that before I forget. Pack of zip ties, $5. Ridiculous. I mean, there's 20 of them, but still, of all the things I've bought lately, I think this hurts the most. All right, so this zip tie goes around that piece we put in. This zip tie pulls that zip tie that's around this way. There's not really an easy way to zip tie it with one zip tie, so I feel like that's the best way. And I do that because vibrations, moving the trucks, opening, closing the door, I don't want that piece to fall off or come out of that. I mean, it feels like it's clipped in there good, but you never know with everything goes on the road. So we're going to tackle this right here real quick. Now these up here are bolts that use these star bits. So we're going to pop out this bottom one so we can add more slack to that top one. So I can pull it out a little bit. Better. Okay, here we go. Now, you can't actually pull the cable out of here. But you see that shape right there? Pay close attention to these, because that shape right there is the same shape as this one. It's the only one that has that. So, this is the one that goes into here so we can make that fit. And here's why that shape is important. So you can take this, see if I can do this one hand. When you're filming, there's a lot of one-handed stuff in there. Anyway, let me put this down for a sec. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to put it right into there. And then it turns and locks in. You're going to find your cable. And right here, see if I can close the door a little bit. Right here it's going to pop in, right there. But first, we got to take this piece and clip it inside that top piece right there. Now sometimes when you pull that cable up, it wants to go the front side of these bars. There we go. All right, so we're gonna clip this piece in. Yeah, I can actually see once the door is open what's going on. And boom, there it is. We're gonna have to put a zip tie up here also, so let's go ahead and do that. Let me show you guys a little trick. So, zip tie, yeah? Trying to get through that hole, right? Bend the zip tie a little bit. Take it through there, so it goes right through the hole. You just grab it and pull it. Look at that. Got that right through the hole there. All right, now we have a door that works. There we go. All right, guys. Well, we did it. Now I have a door that works. That's awesome. Now we gotta put these door panels back together. But it'll be a lot easier with the door open. Just gonna clean this up a little bit. Now get the window lock back in. Is it a lock? Is it a clamp? Is it a release? What is this thing called? I don't even know. All right, y'all, and we did it. Door functions as it should now. There we go. Job is done. Woohoo! Well, guys, I appreciate you guys watching. Like, share, subscribe, comment, whatever. Appreciate it. You guys have a blessed day.